Alrighty, we are live. I hope you're all doing well. Let me get this link up, then we can get going. Music's a bit loud. Something else that I've been noticing too. I'd really like to figure out how to get rid of the crackling on my audio. So if anybody has suggestions, let me know. Alrighty, let's give that a shot. And let's get going. I'm going to drop the link on Minds, and then I'll throw it into the Discord servers. Your leash is making so much commotion. I'm going to take your collar off for a little bit, okay? There you go, girl. She seems much happier. Yeah, it feels nice to get out of that. Probably. I don't know. I'm not a dog. Alrighty, we've got that down. All the links set up. Let me pull up the chat and then we can begin. Alrighty. Nobody in the chat yet, but that's fine. Maybe some folks will pour in. Yeah, I've been impressed with there's not a lot of people following this, obviously, but there's been quite a few returning faces to this, and it's been cool to see that. And I hope that everybody's enjoying. Who's coming along to the emotional tragic roller coaster with me. And forgive me if you hear me sipping. I made myself a little coffee. I'm addicted to this stuff. I got the Keurig cups. This is the McDonald's French toast stuff, and I'm telling you, it's really good. I really recommend it if you haven't had it yet. Woo! That is delicious. I try to not pound too much coffee, but that stuff's good. Okay. So, let's load up. And just a quick recap. We saw a little bit of the fond memories that the white-haired girl has of Jacopo. We also got to see Maria. Yeah, that was the maid's name. Maria was trying to cheer the white-haired girl up a little bit, and unfortunately it went sideways because Jacopo discovered the two of them. Now, I have a theory as to what Maria could be doing, and it's a little more nefarious and quite vile, but I hope I'm wrong. Given the track record of the other doors that we've been through in this game, I'm not so certain if my distrust of Maria is misplaced. But I'm hoping that she's a sweetheart and that she really is trying to help the white-haired girl out. Okay. Also, we found out that Jacopo and Maria likely have a past. We don't know what that entails just yet. But, hey, we'll find out. Okay. So, let us continue. Actually, let me turn it up a little bit on my end. I can't hear much. That's better. Oh, God, and I love this music! I did not look up the OST yet. I need to look it up. This chapter, like I said, love the aesthetic, love the time period, love everything about it. Just, Jacopo is really difficult to like. We saw a little bit of his vulnerability, and you felt that it's not precisely greed that is driving him. He's kind of seeing like the American monetary system as a way to make the changes that he wants to see. But he interprets that, or maybe not interprets because he's executing it this way. He sees it as has to be cutthroat business is the way you have to do it. And though that's, explains that there's more to him than just being a greedy monopoly man, he seems to justify his actions, his personality too, and that's not necessarily the best way to go about things. Anyways, the next morning, Jacopo stood alone in the den by the billiards table. Not a good start. He appeared to be rather agitated. His face was twisted into a frown, his pointer finger tapping restlessly against the hard surface of the table. Evidently, no longer able to stay in one place, he paced a circle around the table, then swiped up a rack and a cube, setting up a game of 9-ball. I am not intimately familiar with the ways by which men entertain themselves, but in truth, I was bewitched by the sight of him leaning over the table. It almost seemed as though a steel rod ran through his shoulder to the tip of his outstretched finger, upon which the cube was secured by another finger looped over it. With a smooth, flowing motion, he thrust the cube forward slightly, pulling it back and repeating the process once more, before ramming it into the cue ball, setting it rolling into a diamond of colored balls. Before ramming it into the cue ball, a chorus of clicks and clacks emanated from the center of the room. Balls collided with one another and ricocheted off the cushioned walls, a few landing in the pockets situated around the edge of the table. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I'm formulating an idea. Oh, perfect. Okay, we're gonna try that. While I can't fix the crackling and the popping in the audio, I can at least get this mic a little closer to me, and hopefully that'll improve the audio somewhat. Let me know if this is working much better or not. Well, we're gonna find out. Because I can't show you, but this entire time, and actually any time that I've been playing a game, I've always had my I've always had the mic to like the bottom right of me, and I've always had to hunch over in order to pick for you guys to pick up my voice. So we're gonna try me speaking directly into the mic, and let's hope that this, even though I can't fix the crackling and popping immediately, let's hope that this fixes at least. I hope it does. Okay. Here, let me. Okay. Balls collided with one another and ricocheted off the cushioned walls, a few landing in the pockets situated around the edge of the table. Jacopo appeared to have accomplished this with little trouble, but I imagine merely striking the cue ball with the stick would be rather difficult for someone inexperienced. But despite his accomplishment, it seemed to only exacerbate his agitation. Lousy positioning, he muttered, though I hadn't the faintest idea what he was talking about. What should have been a game for his enjoyment, he went about with a constant look of exasperation. Oh. It's interesting. It's billiards and darts. I used to have a dartboard. I'd do the same thing sometimes when I was frustrated. The funny thing is you do it to, decrease your stress, and yet in games of skill like these, they can end up ramping it up even more. I suspect he was using it as a way to blow off steam, and as a result, the tension in the air was palpable. I felt it would be improper to intrude upon him, even considering my distaste for the man. There was an undeniable beauty in every motion he made, every perfectly audible clack of billiards balls bouncing off one another. It was an enchanting sight. But then, someone without the slightest regard or apprehension for the beauty came marching in with a hammer to shatter it like glass. Gotta say, that was pretty impressive. Huh? A man leaned against the frame of the open door. He was neither a resident nor a worker of the mansion. The man's face was covered in scraggly stubble, his body draped in grime-caked garments. His eyes were sunken so deep, it was as though I was looking at a fleshless skull, though there was a feral glimmer in them. Needless to say, he was not prim and proper. How long have you been there? Not long, but man, I can't help laughing. You were completely in your own world there. What do you want? And why didn't you send a maid for me? Don't be such a hard ass. We ain't strangers, man. Why should family have to go through the maids to see you? That just ain't right, brother. Your doors should always be open for family. Enough. I am not your family. We're bound by something even stronger than blood. By our family. Our Casca. Don't you ever bring up the Casca when it's in your interest. Ooh, scary. Come on now. What happened to you, little Jack? Where'd the little boy who used to call me Uncle Tommy go? Don't you dare use that godforsaken name. Get the hell out of my sight. What in God's name are you doing here? If they called him little shit. If they called him little Jack, it's pronounced Jacopo. I am a dumbass. I apologize, but at the same time, I do not share that inheritance. That ethnicity whatsoever, so forgive me. Hell, I'm a Slavic mutt. I can't even say my Slavic names right. Oh. The man hailed from the same country as Jacopo. They had a peculiar relationship. Though they were not blood related, he referred to Jacopo as family. They came from a sunny island in the Mediterranean Sea, a place of many unique customs, and an entire underground society. Koska was a word that originated from and referred to those underworld families. It would be another 30 or so years before organizations like theirs received much public attention. At the time, they were not widely known. Just a short step into the future and they would grow so powerful that the very mention of them would send a chill through the room. Hey now, that's no way to talk to a fellow Bearzotti. Or Bearzotti? Sorry. You're on the short list to become the next Capo Familia. We respect our brothers. That's how we operate. I could go home and say you threw me out of your house. How'd you like those rumors to spread? The soon-to-be Capo Familia couldn't even listen to the little request. You gotta forgive. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce this stuff. Forgive my mispronunciations. I just learned I was saying this guy's name incorrectly. I very much doubt anything you said could damage my reputation. I ain't been exiled yet. As long as I'm still one of them, they won't ignore me. Ooh, that's some mighty fine looking whiskey you got there. Don't mind if I do. Nothing here is for you to drink. Booze is my lifeblood, man. A love for a brother. You worthless leech. It surely won't be long before you find yourself in exile. If you're lucky enough to get off the hook with just exile, that is. A child could snap you at that scrawny neck of yours. If I'm gonna go, I'd rather go tied up, tortured for days, covered in tiny little cuts from head to toe. You sick bastard. You disgust me. Call me a carnal adventurer. I despise the mundane. Last thing I wanted to do is go out like a wet fart. Is this what you came for? To waste my time with your insipid nonsense? Oh, hardly. Surely you have an idea of what I'm here for. And how much I need. You damned maggot. A worthless leech, a sick bastard, and a damned maggot? What other names you got me sleep for me? You son of a... Do you honestly think this is how you ask for a favor? Whoops, excuse me. I beg of thee, esteemed future Capo Familia. I'm bone broke, Not even enough money to put bread on the table. Could you spare a little for a brother? You brought this upon yourself, I'm sure. I hear more than enough stories about you, and hardly any of them pleasant. Drinking, gambling, debauchery. I'm humiliated to be in the same Casca as you. You want to make money playing? You gotta learn the game first. Says the worm who played himself into oblivion. Now, do you honestly believe I'll give you anything? Oh, but you will. You got no choice. Casca rules. You're required to help out a fellow countryman. Especially considering how few of us there are stranded on this colossal landmass. You won't even notice the money's missing. It ain't because you can't. But because you don't wanna. But Jacopo, being a tight ass, does nothing for you. Me coming to you for help keeps your good name clean. That's the thing about being boss. You quietly keep little shits like me out of trouble. So the trouble don't come raining back to you. You do not seem to understand your place. Rather than lecturing me, you should be on your hands and knees, begging and crying for my help. If that's what you want, I'll gladly comply. Happy to kiss your boots while I'm at it. Don't even think about it. Know this. There won't be a second time. I will be reporting your conduct to the family back home. I look forward to seeing how they deal with you. Just try to have a little mercy, would you? Hey! Hey! Is there a maid around? It doesn't matter who. How may I serve you, master? Get a single stack from the safe. Here's the key. It goes without saying, but don't touch anything else. Give that money to that man as you're escorting him out the door. As you wish. Is that all you needed? Yes. Now get to it. Very well. Excuse me. Well, well. That's one looker of a maid you got there. But there's something... I don't know. Eerie? Strange about her. Fancy that. We agree on something. How long has she been working here? Couldn't tell you. As I recall, she came with the house. Is that the kind of woman you fancy? A gal you can't read will always be interesting. Is that so? Now that he mentions it, how old is that woman? Though I suppose it doesn't much matter. Oh yeah, Jacopo. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about. What is it this time? And if it's more of your blather, I will shoot you dead where you stand. Now, no need for threats. Better half. What about my wife? Well, to put it simply, yeah. She came to me asking for advice, looking a little distressed. My wife asked you for advice? Yep. From the sounds of it, you're pretty rough on the little lady. It just ain't right, man. You manage to snag yourself a broad that pretty, you ought to treat her like at least a little better, you hear? She looks good with a smile. You gotta make her show it to you every once in a while. Why would she come to you about that? Don't ask me. Maybe she ain't got no one else to talk to. And you know, for whatever it's worth, I am part of the same Casca. Guessing she thought I'd get through to you easier? Really? You just have to put a little more thought into how you act around her, and she'll be smiling for you like always. Oh yeah, I've got just the thing. Women love this stuff. I'm sure she'll be thrilled. Is that perfume? Haven't you heard? Everyone's talking about it. I'm a big fan of this stuff too. It smells great. Pretty girl smiles at you wearing some of this, and man, be in love in an instant. You've never given her nothing fashionable before, have you? May look like just scented water, but you can't let that fool you. Go on, give it to her. You like a nice smelling lady too, don't you? A little bit of scent could give a different flavor to your nighttime excitement. Vanilla. Well, I've said my piece, so I'll be taking my leave. I want to keep your maid waiting too long and get on her bad side. Hold on, Tommaso. Why would she... Make it last. That's all the advice your Uncle Tommy has for you. Ciao. Wait, Tommaso! Wait. Take a sip of my coffee. Oh. Ah. Tastes like French toast and butter. I could go after him. It would be a simple task to catch him, grab him by the neck, make him tell me. Tell me where he spoke to her and what she told him. But why? Why will my legs not move? Might be called guilt. Asking him for advice? Fashionable perfume? Her smile? She looks good with a smile. She'll be smiling for you like always. That can't be. She hardly ever smiles around me. But she'll smile for him? Last night, when she was short of breath, having such a grand time, wearing that perfume, getting ready to leave the house. Just who was that smile for? God damn it. Don't you think I'll let you run free any longer? His eyebrows were furrowed, creating deep creases on his forehead. Several servants stood off to the side, watching their master attentively as he stomped past them down the corridor. However, no one said a word to him. Had I not been preoccupied attending to his countrymen, I likely would have prevented it. The look on his face would have made it oblivious something bad was about to happen. Made it obvious, sorry, not oblivious. Something that would serve only to further her misfortune. She was already in a less than ideal situation, and it was perched on the edge of a hill, soon to begin rolling down into even worse territory. Jacopo, what's the matter? If you wanted to visit, you could have said something, rather than coming in without knocking. Is that really necessary? Pardon? Oh shit. Is there something you so desperately want to keep from me that I must knock before entering? That I should have to let you know I'm in advance that I'm coming? What are you... Well, is there? You want to talk to him behind my back, I'm told. What'd you tell him? You moaned him about my behavior? That hurts. You told him I'm rough with you? You cried on his shoulder because I'm not nice enough? Him, of all people. Wait, Jacopo. You're mistaken, let me... Silence, not a word. Not a single godforsaken word. The only thing that comes out of your mouth is excuses, lies, and fabrication. You put on this sweet, innocent little girl act, but what's really going through your head? Maybe I should just rip that mask off your face. Stop. Jacopo! You look down on me. Your nobility. And I'm just a nobody who married into it. No, stop. Let go of me, please. When did it start? How long have you been seeing him? Who else have you been seeing? Covering yourself in fashionable perfume and smiling, even though you never smile around me. Please, let me go. I can see it in your eyes. He's just a worthless commoner. Why would you think that? Why would you not listen to me? Silence! It's all your fault, every last thing. I tell you not to leave the house, but you do. I tell you to do as I say, but you ignore me. Every last thing you do drives me mad. I don't have the time right now to deal with this, to rack my mind over you, over a woman. I don't have the time for it. Why do you not do as I say? Do you not have enough already, huh? Will you not be satisfied until you've taken my arms and legs? I've given you money, clothing, everything. You have an incredible life. Look around you. That life of luxury you and your parents wanted. It's right here. You have it. What more could you possibly want? Why do you insist on being unfaithful? Unfaithful? You think that what I'm doing is unfaithful to you? How else could I describe it? You leave your room despite my ordering you not to. Don't think I don't know. When you came to the den the other day, you had your eyes on the other men. No, I did not. I had no such inclination. Enough, not another word from you. I have no interest in your excuses. If that's how you're going to act, then say goodbye to your freedom. You're forbidden from leaving the mansion, or your room for that matter, or even speaking to the servants. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make you a new room. Too many people come in and out of this one. It'll be somewhere quieter, out of the way. You like the garden? How about I put it there? If you leave that room without my permission, this time, I'll kill you. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oof. So, he puts up the big, tough guy facade around everybody else. But when his strength's been threatened, he takes it out on her. Oh, that's messed up. And the thing is, she's vulnerable and she never bites back. Ugh. Why? Why will you not listen to me? Jacopo, the master of this house, likely loved the white-haired girl. That is what I saw in their exchange. Normally, love is supposed to be a sweet, warm, wonderful emotion. It makes you care for, value that person even more than yourself. But it was the exact opposite for him. I never knew that love could be such a painful thing. How did this love end up so twisted? What did he expect to happen by confining and abusing the woman he loved? Perhaps he was conscious of that. To be human is sometimes to find oneself driven by uncontrollable internal impulses. A few days later, Jacopo dragged the white-haired girl from her chamber and led her outside. The garden she once loved was now a thing of the past. It had become a dreary space, nary a rose in sight, and being taken there did nothing to improve her mood, only sadden her further. The cold, gray piles of metal freckling the barren earth seemed to mock her. Her husband led her, the lady of the house, to a shed that had been repurposed into a Spartan living area. She begged and pleaded, but Jacopo would not have it. He shoved her into the sad little shack and locked the door. Yeah. So yeah, Jacopo, yeah, he's, I don't know. I suppose I can see what the maid is saying, that he still might care for her, but how much longer can he do that? Especially since now it's escalating. Now he has physically grabbed her. Like, how long does this continue before you say that it's not love? I guess that's my question. Yeah, that's where I'm going to stand on that. I would like to know, you know, where most folks would draw a line. Anyways, how did things end up this way? Why? All I wanted was to go back to the way things used to be. For us to be able to smile around each other. It had been several days since Jacopo had locked her in the shed, and her day-to-day life was only growing more arduous. She was under constant surveillance. The door was only unlocked to deliver her meals 3 times a day. And despite what an unfortunate situation their employer's wife found herself in, the maids chattered and gossiped and giggled freely. Not even in the shadows, out of her presence, the tactless young maidservants whispered directly to the white-haired girl when they brought her meals. "Look at you, madam, caged away like cattle." I could almost hear the sounds of cracks forming in her heart. I imagined she had gotten to the point where she was having difficulty merely holding herself together. She had done nothing wrong, and yet she was forced to live this life of insults and mockery, of ridicule. The only reason her held together spirit did not completely shatter was because she still had one and only ally. Her one and only ally. Sorry. Okay, maybe I shouldn't drink coffee. It does not do well for the throat. The maid Maria volunteered to attend to the white-haired girl. Maria took over the duty of delivering her 3 meals, meaning the other maid stopped coming by. And that relieved the white-haired girl's mental and emotional stress considerably. Maria became her sole conversation partner, her sole companion. She did not leave as soon as meals were finished, instead remaining in the shed with the white-haired girl for some time. So, madam, how about a funny story? I flubbed up pretty hard the other day. You want to hear about that? So a couple days back, I didn't get enough sleep the previous night, right? I'm helping out in the kitchen, half awake, plating up some food, and when I get to bring it out to the guest, my heart about leaps out of my mouth. Guess why? What I thought was a plate was actually an ashtray. Man, I was sweating like a pig. The guest didn't seem to notice, but the other maids were as pale as ghosts the entire time. Just about everyone had themselves a case of the vapors. I got quite the tongue lashing at cleanup. Pretty funny, huh? Oh, did you? Sounds like it was a pretty bad day. Yeah. Hey, madam. I know there's not much point in telling you to cheer up right now, but I'm sure he won't keep you locked up forever. He's just a bit crabby for now. It'll be alright. Although, I guess this is a bit drastic for a temper tantrum. I'm sorry, madam. If only I'd pushed him a bit harder, if only I had a little more influence, you might not be in this situation. I thought I could be of some help, but I guess I'm not doing a great job of that. Of course not, Maria. You absolutely are. Just your being here takes a great weight off my shoulders. Still, though, I feel so worthless. Because I'm just a maid, I can't set you free. It's okay. I'm used to being imprisoned. What? What do you mean you're used to it? He never locked your door before. You're right. I'm not sure why, but I feel as though I've been in a similar predicament before, lacking freedom and contact with others for a long stretch of time. That would be the first door with the story that her father in the first door told. I'm sure it was simply the exhaustion getting to you, madam. No one should ever be used to living like this. Yes, I agree. And I pray things go back to the way they were soon. Has getting mad at him never crossed your mind? Getting mad? Yeah, you know, when he yells, you yell back. Let him know he's in the wrong. Never considered doing that? I guess you're not one to get angry, madam. Which would mean you're a better fit for the Holy Mother than me. Oh, no. I do sometimes want to get angry. To tell you the truth, it's always been going through my mind how, if I did raise my voice, perhaps he would listen to what I have to say. But when I'm standing there in front of him, he starts shouting at me. I freeze up and end up not saying a word. I'm just such a pitiful woman. Everything about me. When I need to speak up most, to stand up for myself, I cannot. Oh, don't look so down. That's not a bad thing. It's just you in a little bit of a pickle right now. But I'll clear everything up with him, you hear me? In my mind, your modesty is a virtue. Here's the thing, you've said that you're going to go talk to him several times. We never see those exchanges, though. And that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking that she might be nefarious. I don't know. And the more I think about it, I can't even imagine you screaming. I like you better the way you are, reserved and ladylike. You can leave all the yelling to me. I'll do whatever I can to help you, madam. Oh, okay. So she is bringing that up. Were you able to clear up his confusion about the night when we were dancing? Oh, about that. Sorry, he just wouldn't hear it. I see. But I'm not throwing in the towel. I'll keep trying as long as it takes. So, say, Maria, could I perhaps ask another favor? Yeah, sure. Let me have it. I would like to write him a letter. A letter to someone who lives in the same house? Yes. As things stand, I cannot simply go visit him on a whim. And I feel as though I could calmly express on paper things I'm unable to say to him face to face.
I suspect I might have more luck that way. I also believe he would be more likely to maintain his composure reading my thoughts in a letter than hearing them from my mouth. With it, I can clear up all the confusion, and things can go back to the way that they were. A letter, huh? Interesting. I'll write the letter, which I would like you to deliver to him. May I ask that of you?
Absolutely, not a problem.
Thank you, Maria. You're the only person I can count on, and I mean that.
Yeah, hearing that again, I don't know, like, nothing has been blatant to even hint that Maria is not a good person. For some reason, I've got a feeling, because it seems like the only holes in this story so far, I mean, the past with Jacopo is, a mystery, but there are areas where Maria says, she'll do something, or she'll, clear something up, or things like that, and that hasn't, for some reason, we never get to see that. So, I don't know. Why? How did this happen? Why would she betray me? I wanted to give her a decently happy life. I didn't want to get violent with her. Yet, when I saw her face, when I heard what she had to say, I couldn't restrain myself. I guess what it comes down to is that, no matter how you dress it up, I'm still a Birzati. There was never any way for this bloodline to give that girl happiness. God damn it. Why am I fretting over this nonsense? And I'm supposed to be the future head. Oh.
An illusion? But they're dancing. They really are. And they look like they're having a wonderful time. Are you sure it's an illusion and not something else? To me, it does not seem to be. I cannot see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach out your hand and try to grab them. You won't be able to. Ah, you're right. That's a shame.
I didn't think you actually would.
But it's the most precious thing. They look as though they're dancing atop my palm.
It's almost frightening how much innocence rests within those hands. It's as if they've been completely cut off from the world's filth. My hands, however, are soaked in blood. I fear that bringing her into my world might taint her. Am I capable of protecting this woman's purity? Every time that I think that, they can't make Jacopo more interesting, they have little things like that revealed. And yet, as I watched her joyously playing, I felt as though I had gotten close to her. I was the one being a child that day. Jacopo, it's me, Maria. Is it all right if I come in? Maria. It's fine, come in.
Alrighty.
Color me surprised. I didn't think you'd let me in. Have I ever denied you access to my room? No, but you've been looking pretty glum lately. I've never been exactly a cheery man.
True enough.
I know you told me before not to talk about your wife, but I'm going to stick my nose where it doesn't belong today.
There's been a lot of chatter amongst the maids lately that you were getting rough with her. I mean, you've got the poor thing locked up in a shed outside. You're not leaving the best impression on anyone. You here to box my ears? I don't know. 50-50? The other half is... I'm concerned about you. I know you're not the kind of man to threaten someone without a good reason. You're not. I thought you were friends with her. I am. And it hurts seeing her in so much pain. Then why has that not changed the way you act around me? I would think you'd be scorning me with the rest of the maids. Oh, I see how it is. You don't trust me. And we've known each other for so long. This isn't a question of whose side I'm on. You're in pain too. I can see that. You've always bottled things up, kept them hidden. You're too proud to rely on others. But you should probably vent to someone before it reaches the point where you no longer can. Say, Jacopo, do you remember the promise we made a while back? How far back? Back when you were still shorter than me. You were 14 and I was 12. I had to leave town. You came to see me off. Quite frankly, I didn't think you'd come. I was surprised, even though if I didn't show it. Okay. So maybe I'm wrong about Maria because she did go actually see Jacopo to bat for him. Bat for her. Okay. Jacopo? Where's your dad? Or are you here alone? He didn't even tell me. Huh? There's no reason you have to leave town. My old man said Campanelas have more power. I should be the one leaving. It's not that simple. Grown-ups have a lot to consider. So don't give me that look, Jacopo. Jacopo. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, I keep fucking that name up. We were kids, but we've both kind of started to catch on to the situation with our families and to the bonds that land held us. Although we didn't know any of the details at the time. My grandpa owned all the land the city was built on, but he was a very conservative man. He didn't try to spread his influence, instead opting to fortify what he already had. I don't know exactly when it first started, but organizations were used to administrate cities. Oh my god. When we were kids, my dad was the Capofamiglia, and my grandpa his consigliere. Oh my god. This language pisses me off. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. But just because he was an advisor didn't mean he was powerless. While my dad made the decisions, my grandpa was the only one allowed to fight him on them. Your father was a Capodecina that served under my dad. He wasn't especially happy about that. Parents quarreling doesn't affect their kids. Or at least, that's what I thought at the time. And what you probably thought too. But there was a chance we could be caught in the crossfire. So my dad decided to send me and my mom away. Off the island to the north were some more prosperous areas. He thought by sending us there, we could live our lives clean, regardless of where we came from. There's no changing what's in your blood, though. You could have told me, too. Or were you planning on leaving without saying anything? No, it was just all decided so quickly. Why do you sound so accepting? Adults have a lot to consider. You bet they do. But you could at least let them know that you're opposed to it, Maria. But no, your tail went straight between your legs as soon as you were told. You just gave up and accepted it straight away. Sounds like his wife. I thought you were better than that. You think? You think I don't know that? But I'll just be in my dad's way if I stay. I'm a kid. A girl. I wouldn't have been of any help if something happened. I don't want to need someone to protect me. I've never once thought of you as a girl. Hey now, that's mean. Oh jeez, thanks Jacopo. Now you are getting me all mushy too. If anyone should be sad here, it's me. I'm not sad. Oh really? You sure you're not actually torn that I won't be around anymore? You're a huge crybaby after all, Jacopino. Hey, when have I ever cried? Don't call me that. I made you mad. Short-fused as ever, I see. You've got to learn to keep your head. You're a man, an heir to the Birzati family. Don't you lecture me. So pig-headed. You could at least listen to me this once before I'm gone. Hey, Maria. Got a little time to spare? Yeah, sure, but not much. The carriage is going to be here soon. Do you have enough for a trip to the hill and back? Yeah, I should have time for that. Because of our families, we weren't really able to get along with the other kids in the city, so we played a lot on the top of that hill. It became kind of like our little secret lair. There was an abandoned house up there. I guess an old farmhouse or something. And kids love that sort of thing, you know? We called it Casa Nostra, our home. And we pretended it was actually ours. Casa Nostra, sorry. We drew circles on the wall in chalk and used it for target practice. We brought up a bale of straw and used it to make makeshift beds. When either of us got into fights with our parents, we'd stay the night here instead of home. In retrospect, I'm sure they knew where we were going and just let us do our thing. Oh yeah, there was this one time we were playing and a huge storm rolled in, trapping us up there. The wind wasn't just howling, it was screaming bloody murder. It was blowing so hard I thought the house might fly away. As I recall, you were crying that night. Hey Nero, you here to see me off too? Aw, there you go wagging your tail with the dumb look on your face. You have no idea what's going on, do you? It wasn't just the two of us who had made Casa Nostra our home base, though. There was one more. A stray black dog. I'm pretty sure it didn't actually have black fur. It was just really, really dirty. Of course he doesn't. He's a stupid animal. Oh, don't talk about him like that. He's one of us. What are you planning to do about Nero? Just leave him behind? Nothing else I can do. Can't bring a dog in the carriage. Besides, you're here, so it'll be fine. He'll take care of Nero, alright? He doesn't like me. You're the only one who can take care of him. Maybe so. But I'm not coming back. He'll starve to death if you don't figure something out. He's a puny runt. I doubt he could win in a fight for scraps. Come on, do it for me. You said you won't be coming back. Did you mean that? Are you absolutely never returning to this town? There's no telling what may or may not happen, so it's best not to get your hopes up. Better that than the pain of getting let down. Well, I've turned into quite the cynic, huh? Maybe if I'd been born into a more normal family, I'd be in my room with a pile of dolls about now, my head in the clouds. I can't imagine you doing that, nor do I think that's normal. Well said. Hey, stop that, Nero. Quit licking me. It tickles. You reek. Maria? What is it? Come back. I don't care if you don't know when it'll be. Just Don't say you'll never return. No one knows how things are going to end up. Maybe my old man will gain more power, or maybe yours will. If things continue as they are, it'll be your old man. Then, down the line, I will work in the service of the Campanella family. I hope I pronounced that right at least. And that's just fine by me. But even if that's not the future that lies ahead, I promise I'll make a place for you. Sorry, just making sure that it's still working. Okay. Sorry, I thought I went offline again. So, Maria? Question. Do you have a crush on me? What? Kidding, I'm just kidding. No need for a... No need for a conniption fit. I was just playing around. Here I am trying to have a serious conversation, and then you... Listen to me. I don't have any of those, those kinds of feelings for you. I consider you a lifelong friend. My one and only friend. That's why I came to see you off, and that's why I'm telling you this now. Whether you're a girl or boy is irrelevant. Friendship lasts much longer than something so fanciful as romance. Am I wrong? Don't laugh, damn it. It's humiliating. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I agree entirely. Yeah, we've always been on the same page, Jacopo. Maybe we did fight a lot, but there wasn't one we didn't get through. No one else understood just how lonely it was. Wearing a mask for all the other kids, trying to fit in their happy little circle. We couldn't afford to be found out, after all. Neither of us had any real allies. Except for each other, of course. Nope. I'm glad I got the chance to play with you. If you hadn't been there, I probably wouldn't have bothered caring for Nero either. It was too funny watching him chase you around. You're a sick girl, Maria. So hey, Jacopo, this place will still be Casa Nostra even after I leave, right? You won't do anything to it, will you? Of course not. This is our home. That was always the plan. Right. Thanks. Though you being all nice is kinda creepy, Jacopo. It's not gonna start snowing, is it? How rude. Well, if you're gonna be like that, I'm not sure I want to give it to you. Huh? Give what? A present? You should have said so sooner. Gimme. You don't have a shred of tact, do you? What's it matter? Come on, what are you doing? Let me have it, soldier. Oh, Maria. Consider this a temporary parting gift. You've been wanting one of these for a while. Ooh, is that a cartridge? From a Colt Navy? No way! Did you swipe it? I'll probably catch hell for it, too. Wow, this is amazing! I always wanted to get my hands on the real thing. This is from the one hanging up in your house, isn't it? The one your dad was bragging about. They just started selling them this year, and it's ridiculously hard to get your hands on one, or so I hear. Man, guns from the New World are something else, all right. Just imagine the moment the hammer comes crashing down on the back and sends the chills down my spine. Are you sure you're a girl going crazy over bullet cartridge? Hey, nothing wrong with loving guns. They are very fun to obsess over. What's the big deal? I like what I like. You'll get into trouble if you don't put this back, though, won't you? Don't worry. I'll return it when you return. And I won't tell anyone I gave it to you. Okay. Well, I guess I'll take you up on that then. Thanks, Jacopo. It'll be my treasure. This goes without saying, but don't you lose it. I'm giving it to you as a symbol of our friendship. No matter how far apart we may be, or how much time may pass, or how things play out with our families, we'll always be friends. That cartridge symbolizes that promise. It's a promise, Jacopo. Our families may outwardly hate each other, but I'll always be your friend. I'll always be on your side. And don't you ever go back on those words. I swear upon this glorious cartridge, this historic land, and the names of my ancestors, I shall not make myself a liar. I trust you, Maria. We'll meet again. It may be years from now, but that won't change a thing. Our friendship will never fade. That was cute. That was very cute. I'm hoping that's authentic, though. Yeah, Jacopo's... He's a very well-written character. I kind of wish he just wasn't taking out his frustrations on his poor wife. That's just sad. Anyways. God, you were adorable back then. And short to boot. But now you've hardened so much. I was flabbergasted when I next saw you. Dressed in all fancy from head to toe. You'd become quite the smug little bastard, I'd thought. You sure weren't the little kid anymore. You have quite the memory. Oh yeah, I don't forget my promises. And I'd never forget I said I'd always be by your side. The question is, did you remember? I did. I remember every word you said that day. And, as I said, I left Casa Nostra as it was. Casa Nostra, sorry. Though it was quite some distance away now. I imagine if we went back and did a little work on it, we could have it looking just like old times. And Nero? About a year after you left, he suddenly disappeared. And just for the record, I did take care of him, as you told me to. I'm guessing he got into a fight with another stray or something. I searched, but I could never find him. Well, it has to be more than a decade. Not everything's going to be exactly the same. You, however, haven't changed a bit from the girl you were all those years ago. Neither have you. Sure, you seem different on the outside, but at your core, I believe you haven't changed at all. Still the same old Jacopino. Could you not call me that? I have changed quite a bit, unlike you, and I am well aware of it. Say, Jacopo, do you consider me supportive? Of everything you could have said? Of course you are. You're constantly supporting me, past and present. You are the proof of the existence of a kind of friendship that can transcend gender, blood, and any other such distinctions. You know, it's honestly kind of bizarre seeing you without a stick up your ass. Wow, harsh words. Come on now, hear me out. You almost got me blushing here. Anyway, before you put that stick back up there, tell me something. Am I still your only ally? You are. Of everyone in this mansion, I'm the only one? Yes. If she would at least have a little more... The madam? I didn't actually intend to treat her like that. Believe me, Jacopo, I know. I mean, from a girl's perspective, what you did is pretty awful. But hey, I'm not a girl, according to you anyway. I will always be on your side no matter what. God, I feel as though I'm being consoled. That's what I was going for. I should have never opened up to you. Hey, now's probably not the best time to bring this up, but I have a letter. A letter? Written by the madam. Here. A letter from my wife? Let me see it. What the hell am I reading? I was considering keeping it a secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you might be the only way. Fuck! I was considering keeping it secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you might only hurt you more, so I decided it was best to show you. Who is this? Who is this letter for? It's as if... But that can't. I love you? Who is she writing to? I don't know this man. Take a deep breath, Jacopo, and listen to me. Yep. Oh, God, Maria. Oh, my God. Yeah. Nope. Okay, I'm sticking with my original thought. Yeah. Now, Maria is trying to split the marriage. There was a little moment in which, there was a moment that, I thought I was throwing off my original thought, but no, she's, wow. Once it gets confirmed, holy shit, what a bitch. The madam is having an affair. Wow. Oh my God. That is... Good God, that is just evil. It's not completely confirmed yet, but it looks pretty clear at this point. I haven't changed a bit? If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that. Acting. Much like I do around you. Our friendship will never change. Ha! What a fucking joke. You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in. And they called you astute. Can you taste the fucking irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. Wow! She went full on, just straight up Disney villain. Okay, well. Okay. So I was right. Okay. And not the biggest fan of this music, but oh well. Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my God, it's suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Ugh, sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. My sides hurt just thinking about it. You're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why? Why must she continue to betray me? Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from my gatherings. I had the rose garden torn down. And yet still, she finds other men? I warned her. Told her it wouldn't happen again. That if she betrayed me one more time, I'd kill her. Jacopo. Out of my way, Maria. I have to talk to her. Ask her what this letter's about. Who this man is. And depending on how she answers, I may have to... Hold it, Jacopo. Calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me. Relax. You try to talk to her right now, you aren't going to get anywhere. You're aware just of how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but... Not a bad person? The woman who wrote this letter? To another man? She crossed the line, you hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She may be nobility, but I have the Casca. We have our own way of taking care of things. We have our own way of taking care of these kinds of problems. Still, it's plain as day it'll only make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing's happening? When she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacopo, could you let me take care of it? Yeah, okay. This is how she goes between the two of them. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I'm friends with the madam. You know that. She'll listen to me. So I'll make sure it gets through to her. Just how much you really care about her. I couldn't ask you. It would be disgraceful. There's nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I'm on your side and you're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it. You're right. Yes, you're right. I'm well aware that I'll always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash, yes. I'll make sure everything works out, got it? You and the madam go back to the way things used to be, so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain. I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't make that face, Jacopino.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maria. Please, let her know that even if she is seeing other men, and even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood, that I still love her. That I don't want to raise my hand against her. Oh my god. So both of them want the same exact thing, and this bitch. Oh my god. This fucking bitch. I don't know. So Maria, just so you know, you're complicit in, well, no, he should not have hit her, but you've contributed to that now. You love her? That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I'll say, though, I was surprised you lost your head that badly. Quite the little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all your problems would be solved. But you can't even imagine that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Jacopo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid. Timid, that's a fucking word. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madam. I got nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now. Not when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down gives me goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. Oh my god. Oh my god. How did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. Would he not take it? Oh no, he took it. Just, don't feel too bad about this, madam. He says he's too busy with his work and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes you a reply. He hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It kills me to see you like this, madam. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of his day to read the letter you poured your soul into writing. It's unacceptable. I'm sure he really is busy. He did not throw it away, though, did he? I imagine he means to read it when he has more time. Madam, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe that the day will come when he gives me his attention again, as he did before. Madam, so, can I ask you to believe with me, Maria? Have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him? Something tells me that it will all work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay. If you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madam. I'll have faith. Thank you. I'd like to write another letter. When it is complete, can I ask you to deliver it to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get through to him. Okay, let's see here. Just backtracking, thinking of all of the characters. This one's stacking pretty high with the ones I dislike the most. You really ought not to be so trusting, madam. take a real close look, and you'll see exactly who it was that ground your happy little life into dust. Thank you, Maria. I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God. Oh God, I can't hold back the laughter. This is a stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on a role herself, but that only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune. From the first shout to the last, blind to whose finger is sitting on the trigger. Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madam meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden? The far side's out of sight from the mansion, making it the perfect place to hide. I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madam is having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings. And they act like they're just friends, and they don't act like they're just friends. But just to be clear, I don't have any solid proof. So it'd be best if you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing around accusations only to find out it was too late. It was all a big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it. I think the madam might have had her eyes on several men. Being a woman, I can tell these things. She's giving these suggestive looks, but to whom I can't pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of this house, after all. What? You want to keep her from leaving her room? That might be for the best. With so much going well, it makes me think even God's on my side. They could just talk it over with one another. But they won't, and they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my God, it was perfect. Hey, Jacopo? I could just be misreading her, but something seems off about the madam. Like she's been on the edge of it or something. I try to egg her into revealing what's going on, and she let slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You were going out to survey a construction site today, right? And I'd suggest you get that taken care of quickly. A dance? At this time of night? Yep, it's not so late. No loud music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But this room is too small for... Who used the Great Hall? Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He would probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry. Jacopo's out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No. What could I possibly want out of this house? Sorry. I'm sure you know better than anyone. What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you have to be having quite the time. Look at you. You're out of breath, red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry. This is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bring the perfume only made things worse. No, you need not feel bad for anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interests at heart. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest! And I was able to put the perfume to great use. That money-sucking leech Tommaso showed up at the perfect time, too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacopo started getting actively violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing. Always imagine the worst and making matters worse for it. Wow, is that you, Tommaso? It's been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky who it is. Little Miss Campanella. There's a surprise. Didn't expect to see you on this side of the Great Blue. Oh, you know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Huh. Well, color me impressed. After what happened, I would have thought you'd want nothing to do with him. That was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, would sure be nice for all you younger generation to go through life without nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk there. I need you to worry yourself about any of that. So, what brings you here, Tommaso? I'm a little, you know how it is. Having a bit of trouble staying afloat. Ah, I see. So you're here to beg for offerings? Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point in having shame if I ain't making money. Toss that out with the chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I'm just quit being human altogether. Are you that hard for cash? Unfortunately. Numbers were supposed to go up, but for some reason they ended up going down instead. Might be best if you kicked the gambling habit. Now, that's like telling me to go off myself. I bet. So, say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too. Oh, you mean it? That'd be a huge help. There's seriously not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit from my fists. Depending on the number, I could possibly cut them into chunks and toss them in the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do? It'll be easy. That's nothing bad either. You're gonna talk to Jacopo, aren't you? Well, there's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? He can get pretty nasty with his wife, though. That's so. Sounds like she's got it rough. She does. And she's religiously devoted to him, too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get back on good terms with him, but haven't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should work through? Normally, yes, but it's reached this point where I can't bear to sit back and watch anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. Not important right now. Just doing the right thing. But the thing is, Jacopo won't hear a word of it. I figured maybe you, being a man, might be able to get through to him a little better than me. Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Come on, he used to be really close, though. And I thought he hates you. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anywho, talking's something anyone can do. So what do you want me to tell him? I need you to give him a bit of scolding. Tell him the madam came to you asking for advice and that she accidentally let slip that he treats her day-to-day causes her grief. I've never met his wife of his before, you know. Works even better that way. She's so downtrodden, she can't talk to anyone about it, and she thought that maybe you, being family, might be able to help. She's never met you, but she's still latched onto that ray of hope. And I'm sure when Jacopo finds out she brought it up with his family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this hit harder home when they come from someone on the outside. You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with them. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all I need you to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Oh, right, one more thing. This is some perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madam as a gift. If you won't take it, you keep it. Give it to another woman, sell it, whatever you want. Perfume, eh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If Big Bad Jacopo gives her some of that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. I never thought the day'd come when I got to play Cupid. I'm starting to get kind of excited about this. Stay focused. Thanks. Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. They clearly are. Their relationship's in complete shambles. And Jacopo still insists he fucking loves her. And the madam says she still believes in him. Oh, seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo, poor madam. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls to next. And how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I will be nudging it along its way. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hands. Good God, I hate this bitch. Master? Are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? Yeah. I was feeling that this was going to be the twist for a bit now, so I'm not shocked. I'm lamenting this development. Because literally, what's really sad here is Jacopo and the white-haired girl, they both want the same thing. That is so sad. I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more about my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the time, I do believe that Maria was the white-haired girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then, I know how the tale ends, you say? Yes, that is correct. Well aware that it was not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was on the white-haired girl's side. Oh my. I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning when Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in a shadow. I wanted you to know the same feeling of consternation I had experienced. Sorry. That's sad. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him, and her desire for their relationship to return to what it had once been. My beloved, I am sure your hands are quite full right now, but that is fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was, perhaps, the most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave to me, for it is the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt it will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It would be nice if, someday, you and I could dance together. Perhaps, when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little farther away. And we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although, I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite personally. Do I, perhaps, have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering them, however. She changed the address from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and in the space below write a different name. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of a letter, but Maria could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Again? Another letter? Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters looked like professions of love for another man. The more she inscribed her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed toward him. I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking? I knew it. You have been going out with other men, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave to me? God's sake. You have to be fucking kidding. But I've ensured she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time she'll let go, and so will he. Oh, listen to me, resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite broken-hearted at the sight of her suffering. But when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never proposed a sense of possessed. The white-haired girl never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took up everything Maria said as truth, continuing, in her agony, to write Jacopo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been some time since we last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing as of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage, so letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my feelings? My love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. You're never going to get a response, though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these or your love to get him. I could just stop reading them. It would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild. Fantasizing about her writing to this other man and what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'd be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered, without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, then pore over the text when he was alone. I assume he did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria, he would have almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could someone have lived in as isolated a life as her have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited so long, would you believe the feelings she professed you were genuine? She continued writing letters, day after day, week after week, without hiatus. She had, by and large, run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there was a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in a thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time, you have not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you? I imagine you would have, with your interests in new technology. Next time you have the chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition? Oh, that's right. There was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention, since it was supposed to be held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition. And while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I have never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man? Has this been going on for that long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstanding. He needed merely ask the white-haired girl in person, to whom the letters were addressed, whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have all been unraveled. But he had made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. I felt as though I have now, at long last, come to understand just what kind of man Jacopo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he'd had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid. Afraid of being rejected by her. Afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him. Where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully. Where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in this state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name of the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do such a thing, of course. But Jacopo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is, and where he resides. I could make him tell every last detail about his relations with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread, and were to reach the Casca. The fate of the Berzatis is in your hands, son. There's a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither away and die. And not just this family. The whole land will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise. but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Capofamilga was an incredible, reticent man. Oh my god, I can't pronounce this word, I'm sorry. It took all he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. But I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Birzadi family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly. It would be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Birzadi name climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're going to have everything ripped out from under us. Ah, my fucking God. If the woman isn't your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only going to be your wife in name. That goes to show how kind of a man, well, not kind, but Jacopo is faithful to her, despite even his father telling him that he didn't have to be. That's... goddamn. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Power? Yes, those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to follow a capofamiliga they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through the forest, and once the flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone run on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If by any chance your fiancée is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you. And never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. This is your responsibility. The fate of the Birzardis is in your hands. Kill anyone who stands in your way. Poverty is the root of all evil. Responsibility. I must keep intercepting her letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I cannot allow anyone to learn that she's disgraced me. Kill her? That's how my old man says to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not. Not yet. Ah, God damn it. It's downright wrong. For me to even be having these feelings for someone. Fuck. Master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Coming along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out. Have him wait. Is something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay... I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Damn it. Keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn you. Take care on your trip, Master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That we... Hey, speak up! Die, Jacopo Birzardi! Huh? Master? There's a knife in your stomach.
Huh?
Oh God, someone, anyone!
Silence! Don't make a scene! Call a doctor!
Yes, sir.
Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful.
Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. The world is going white. Come on now. You have to be kidding. I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off of others' lives. You stand up on a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions, and you never have. You've always been this way. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything, they would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had a value as a man, who actually wants to go through life being laughed at. I had to make them recognize that what I did had value. And I needed neither love nor compassion to do it. Or that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down, I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who was being made to marry a man she had never seen or met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. But because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. It didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of her wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured by the veil, was gorgeous. And crucially, she was smiling at me. I'd expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead, she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did. Want to ensure she always had a smile on her face. Is this my room? alive? Damn it. Ugh. I feel nauseous. What time is it? The world's a blur. So hot. You mustn't get up. Huh? The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you had been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out of... Pardon? Oh, I see. Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better. Yeah, no. Stay by my side for a little longer. Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand. Your hand? Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this? Your hand is quite cold. It probably feels that way because of your fever. So, yes? I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I've been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you'd like. I felt like I had finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's fine. My hand is in yours. Thank you. Oh, my God, please don't have Maria interrupt that. Oh, man. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. Oh, man. Damn. It's not her. Shit. Oh, that's sad. Boy. Okay, actually, we're gonna cut it there for the day. Yep. God, I don't know where it's gonna go now. Let's go ahead and save. Okay. Man. I guess it would have been too it wouldn't be tragic if that actually was the white-haired girl. Shit, man. This is just ripping my heart out again. Oh, poor Jacopo and poor white-haired girl. Shit. Yeah, I don't know where this is gonna go because I don't know what. I don't get the sense that Maria anymore. I don't get the sense that Maria just wants Jacopo as a romantic partner. There's probably something else going on there, so we'll see what happens, though, and then we'll also see if Jacopo, what he does right after recovering from this, if he does recover. I think he probably will, but I don't know. So, anyways, yep, I think we'll cut it here for the day. And thanks for anybody who stopped by to watch. And I will make an announcement when I do the next one. Next time, though, I don't think I'm going to do coffee. Well, I'm playing this because get my heart rate up. And really did affect my voice. But I do hope that me raising the mic, though, made the audio a little better on part of my voice, though I'll still try to figure out how to get rid of the crackling and pops in the background. I apologize for that. I've now realized that it was actually worse than I initially thought, so my bad, my apologies. So anyways, I just hope that you guys are enjoying life. Just make sure that that you're taking care of yourselves and staying safe and warm, especially with the cold temperatures out. And yeah, hope that you're staying happy, and if not, hope that you find something to make you happy. Okay. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.